Well, hello. Michael here. Looking again today at Psalms 26, specifically verse 2 and 3 for the exposition. This psalm, which is subtitled, I Will Bless the Lord, reads, verse 1, Vindicate me, O Lord, for I have walked in my integrity, and I have trusted in the Lord without wavering. Verse 2 reads, Prove me, O Lord, and try me. Test my heart and my mind. Verse 3, For your steadfast love is before my eyes, and I walk in your faithfulness. So the exposition comes from the Treasury of David as written by Charles Spurgeon. Verse 2, There are three modes of trial here challenged, which are said in the original to refer to trial by touch, trial by smell, and trial by fire. The psalmist was so clear from the charge laid against him that he submitted himself unconditionally to any form of examination which the Lord might see fit to employ. Examine me, O Lord. Look me through and through. Make a minute survey. Put me to the question. Cross-examine my evidence and prove me. Put me again to trial, and see if I would follow such wicked designs as my enemies impute to me. Try my reins and my heart. Assay me as metals are assayed in the furnace, and do this to my most secret parts, where my affections hold their court. See, O God, whether or no I love murder, and treason, and deceit. All this is a very bold appeal, and made by a man like David, who feared the Lord exceedingly. It manifests the most solemn and complete conviction of innocence. The expressions here used should teach us the thoroughness of the divine judgment, and the necessity of being in all things profoundly sincere, lest we be found wanting at the last. Our enemies are severe with us, with the severity of spite, and this a brave man endures without fear, but God's severity is that of unswerving right. Who shall stand against such a trial? The sweet singer says, Who can stand before his cold? And we may well inquire, who can stand before the heat of his justice? Verse 3, For thy loving kindness is before mine eyes, an object of memory and a ground of hope. A sense of mercy received sets a fair prospect before the faithful mind in its gloomiest condition, for it yields visions of mercies yet to come, visions not visionary but real. Dwell, dear reader, upon the celestial word, loving kindness. It has a heavenly savor. It is not an unmatchable word, unexcelled and unrivaled. The goodness of the Lord to us should be before our eyes as a motive actuating our conduct. We are not under the bondage of the law, but we are under the sweet constraints of grace, which are far more mighty, although far more gentle. Men sin with the law before their eyes, but divine love, when clearly seen, sanctifies the conversation. If we were not so forgetful of the way of mercy in which God walks towards us, we should be more careful to walk in the ways of obedience towards Him. And I have walked in thy truth. The psalmist was preserved from sin by his assurance of the truthfulness of God's promise, which truth he endeavored to imitate as well as to believe. Observe from this verse that an experience of divine love will show itself in a practical following of divine truth. Those who neglect either the doctrinal or practical parts of truth must not wonder if they lose the experimental joy of it. Some talk of truth, it is better to walk in it. Some vow to do well in future, but their resolutions come to nothing. Only the regenerate man can say, I have walked in thy truth. trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here then declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.